Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to another month of subscription box unboxings. We've got 6 boxes to go through this month. This is the first month of 2017, so with this I want to change it up a little bit and just basically go through everything a little bit quicker and focus more on the review at the end. Obviously at the end of these videos I always do a review where I rate every single item in all of the boxes, and then that gives us a rating for the box, and then we get to compare all the boxes every month. And I want to get to that a little bit quicker and speed things up a bit for 2017, so that's the way that I'm going to go with this. I know that I'm a little bit late with this one with January, but we should be back on track for next month. I know I say that every time, but let's start off straight away. And obviously first up is Loot Crate, as always. These are all the January edition of these boxes, and let's see what they've got in. So that's the t-shirt for this month. That is a really nice design. That I really do like that. It's a nice material as well. It feels really nice. Next up we've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Geek Tiki blind box thing. This should be interesting. We'll see which one we get. So I mean, they're pretty cool. They're pretty interesting. Nice, nicely made. Nice designs. They are stackable when you collect them. They're different colours on the inside. Obviously you could have got a different one. Nice item that. They are a Loot Crate exclusive, like everything from Loot Crate is these days, and they're also got some variety in there with that, because not every box is going to have the same one. So there's 2 bonus points that I always go on about. Next up we've got Captain America 1940s Captain America shield, 1/6 scale replica. Again, another Loot Crate exclusive. I mean, I have to say that is a really nice figure or item to get in a box like this. It comes with a card that tells you all about it. It's an official prop replica. You get a stand, a base, and a stand for it as well. That's really nice. It's, you know, proper metal. It's well made. Very nice item. Yeah, I'm very impressed with Loot Crate so far, only just after 3 items. Next up is another cool item. This is interesting. It's got a certificate of authenticity on the back explaining what it's all about. DC Comics certifies that this is an authentic reprint of Action Comics #1 Volume 1 featuring the first appearance of Superman. This special edition reprint is exclusive to Loot Crate. June 1938. Reprint of the very first comic book that featured Superman. That, again, another cool item. That's really good stuff. Some unique things and all exclusive with the Loot Crate as well, which is good. We've got the pin, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon sort of themed loot pin. I never quite like it when they do these themes like this. It just feels like a big load of promotion, but you know, it's at least it's something a little bit different. And that's it for Loot Crate. We got the box design there. Gets an extra point or so for having something a bit interesting there. And you can obviously do all the usual stuff with the box. And you get the magazine, which I generally give an extra point to if there's something included like that. But yeah, some really nice items there from Loot Crate, actually. Starting the year off with a bang. Next up, we've got Geek Fuel. As I always say, if you want any information about these boxes, all the links are in the first couple of lines of the description. So you can click those and find out all about them if you want to get them for yourself or whatever. But we'll see what they offer up this time. I have to say that's a really nice touch. The magazine has a picture of, obviously, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia on the front, with a quote from her on the back. Really nice touch that, actually. And it's just the usual magazine, but for them to include something a little bit extra like that after obviously Carrie Fisher passed away, that's a nice touch. And also a pin there included as well. Yeah, just a little nice touch. I think they did the same sort of thing when Leonard Nimoy passed away as well, with some Spock items. So yeah, I like that. This is a t-shirt design from Geek Fuel this month. Really nice design that. Obviously Rogue One related with the X-Wing and the droid. He was probably the best character in the whole movie. Yeah, I really do like that design. That's a great design. You got the AT there as well. And obviously the trees of the planet that they were on at the end. Yeah, that's a very nice design. I like that. I've been impressed with both the t-shirts so far. Big Q fig next. We used to seeing these Q figs from Loot Crate recently, but this one is from Geek Fuel. This is of Green Arrow. So there he is. There's the Green Arrow figure. They usually are very nice figures, these Q figs. Really high quality. So yeah, good item. Next up we got another box. It's always interesting. Geek Fuel tend to do this. They package things in, something a little bit extra. It does add a little bit to it. They always give an extra point or so if it's made nicely like this. Quite a heavy item, and it's exclusive, so we'll see what's in this. So this is Rupee soap. Obviously, like I said, it's a Geek Fuel exclusive. This is a really nice item. Something, again, completely different to get in a box like this. 3 different soaps. They all have their unique, distinct scent. Yeah, I constantly get amazed when we get items like this that are something completely different. We get things like that in these boxes. Something new and fresh and unique. That's a really nice item. That's well packaged as well, nicely boxed. Good stuff. Next up is another one of these Geek Fuel pins that they're starting to make a collectible item of, which is nice. Again, I feel like these pins have become better than the Loot Crate pins now. They're doing something a bit extra special with them. And there is a sort of a rarer version that you could have gotten as well. But yeah, I really like the way that they're going with the pins, and they're properly packaged, and they feel like more of a collectible item than all the other pins that we get. So the final item is a downloadable game from Steam. You always get one of these every month with Geek Fuel. Ninja Pizza Girl. They're normally okay, they're nothing special, but whoever wants it, you can get it. There you go, there's a code, and it's gone. So the first person to get that can have it. But that's it for Geek Fuel. Some interesting items. Again, both Geek Fuel and Loot Crate have started off very well for this year. So next up, Super Geek Box. One of the smaller ones, probably the smallest one that we have. It's generally always the same size boxes, and then they just try to stuff as much in as they can, whereas you tend to get different sizes from the other boxes depending on what they put in them. But we'll have a look at the t-shirt first up. That is the t-shirt for Super Geek Box this month. Decent design. Obviously, with the Nintendo Switch coming out and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a lot of hype surrounding that, so it's no surprise that we're seeing items that are relating to that. Next item is an Avengers Assemble Square Heads plush. Okay, interesting. Possible variations: Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Spider-Man. And we got Iron Man. I mean, it's pretty cool, I suppose. It's just a plush figure. I feel like they've sort of just been put into a blind box they weren't really meant to be blind box type items, but maybe they weren't selling well enough, so Marvel decided to make them into a blind box item. I don't know. But it works, and at least there's some variety there with these the Super Geek box at least, because not everyone's going to get the same item there. Next up, a Super Geek Box exclusive with this legacy necklace, Soldier Honor legacy necklace. They never sort of say the proper names of these things, but I mean, it seems like a decent item. It is a nice metallic necklace. The chain on it isn't really that great, but yeah, it's a relatively decent item for a Super Geek Box exclusive as well. They sort of make their own things in that respect when it comes to the exclusives. We've got another one of those here with another sort of keychain type thing. So these sort of things, they're sort of, I would say they're more filler items because they're not officially licensed or anything like that. This is obviously a key cover. It goes over your keys. It's not a keychain as such, but yeah, they're not too bad to have in. Dragon Ball Z, huh? Okay, interesting. We've never really had packs of trading cards in these boxes before. This is interesting. So these are the sort of front side of the cards, and then I guess the back of the cards make up a single big picture. Apart from that one, they're just bits of card really. They don't really mean anything to me. And maybe put some Pokemon cards in there or something that might give a bit more value to me. But they're okay. They're nothing too special, I guess. And that is the pin for this month. And that's pretty much it from Super Geek Box. So a few okay items, nothing all that special I would say from Super Geek Box. Obviously, as I say, we always do all the scores at the end with the ratings for each individual item and in the boxes as well. So that ultimately determines how it is, and it's always an objective score that I give that doesn't take into account my own personal preferences of what items I would like. Next up, Wootbox. Again, they always generally keep with the same formula of the same size box and the same number of items. But, I mean, as always, we'll look at the t-shirt first up. There is the t-shirt from Wootbox this month. That is a cute design. I think that's a good mashup as well between Mario and Star Wars. It's pretty cute. I like that. Next up, we've got this plush of Kylo Ren. The info on the sheet says that this is one of 8 super deformed Star Wars plush. So, we could have had a Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, R2-D2, an Ewok, BB-8, or Yoda. So, that's good that there's a lot of variety in there with that. And it's a nice plush, really. Similar to the Iron Man one that we had from Super Geek Box, really. Same sort of thing. Next up, we've just got this nondescript box. Obviously, one of Boks exclusive. So we'll see what's in this. And this is what was in it. Basically, sort of looks like an 8-bit style Rubik's Cube of Suicide Squad characters. It's officially called Bad Guys Rubik's Cube because, again, they can't, because they make it themselves. They can't officially license it. But, no, not too bad. A decent little item. That's the pin for this month. Obviously, Force is the theme. Again, just bog standard pins with that one, and not really matching up to the Loot Crate or especially the Geek Fuel pins. But it's nice to have something a little bit extra. It gets a point. Next up is a notepad with Darth Vader on, saying, "I find your lack of notes disturbing." I quite like that. I'm probably going to use this. Yeah, that's pretty cool and pretty cute. And the final item is this Bowser mouth mask. It's like an eye mask thing, but for your mouth. So it's okay. Super Geek Box and Wootbox haven't been quite as good as the first 2 boxes that we saw in terms of the amount of stuff, and the quality of the stuff in there just hasn't been there in comparison to the others. But like I said, all the reviews at the end we'll give it in full details. So next up is Wootbox. This was we had the first variety of this last month for the December box, and it scored quite well actually. So it's a French box. We'll see what's in it this time. First thing that I've noticed is the magazine that's included is actually in English this time. It was in French last month, so I couldn't read or understand what was in it. But yeah, they've sorted that out. They are trying to expand, I believe, from just being a French box to international and stuff like that. That's why they send one to me, I guess. But yeah, it looks packed with stuff. Let's see what this is. We got a hat first of all. Dishonored 2 beanie hat. Quite nice. It's nice material. Feels soft. Good stuff. And we've got an Alien Titans vinyl figure. We've seen these Titans vinyl figures before. This is a Wootbox exclusive. It's a nice figure. Next up is an Overwatch Hanzo keychain. Pretty nice again. It's a nice keychain. That's good quality metal and material and everything. Officially licensed product as well. All the stuff in here seems to be properly officially licensed. And we got the Wootbox pin here as well. That's very similar to the Loot Crate pins, what they used to be like before they started doing, sponsored pins, I guess you could say, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever. But that's, again, a better quality pin than what we get from the Super Geek Box or the Wootbox. So, yeah, good marks on that one. And the final item is the t-shirt. Again, nicely packaged. It's not just thrown in there. It actually feels like a t-shirt if you'd bought one. And that's the t-shirt from Wootbox this month. Obviously Assassin's Creed. Yeah, nice design, nice feel, nice material, good quality t-shirt. Some really nice items again from Wootbox in addition to what we saw from last month. Yeah, they give you some good stuff, so good stuff to them. And the final box this month is Launch Box. This is a new one. Obviously we had Wootbox was a brand new one last month, and that was a French box. This I believe is a Spanish box, and obviously they're trying to expand and stuff like that. So it's always interesting when we get something new in these, and we'll see what's in this one. So first up we got some Super Mario Brothers socks. I quite like these. They're quite cute, with the old 8-bit style of Mario, the original. Yeah, I like those. Okay, so I'm getting the impression that I may not be the target audience for this box. Sesame Street is actually, obviously, the boxing and the packaging is in Spanish. Yeah, it's a mug. I mean, it's obviously getting a mug in boxes like this is all right. You can never have enough mugs. But Sesame Street, really? We've also got this Dragon Ball Z figure sort of keychain thing. It's okay. It's well molded, I guess. It's an interesting mold. Probably not going to put that on my keys, but next up we've got some Marvel Mushrooms super squishy things. Yeah, I am definitely feeling that I'm not the target audience for this. I feel like this is kind of a box that may be for not necessarily just geeks, but maybe younger geeks. Brings it back with the t-shirt though. That's a really nice design. I really do like that. This is obviously the t-shirt for the launch box this month. That's a really cool design. I like that. That's really good. Transformers t-shirt in that sort of style. Yeah, really nice. Okay, and I really like this as well. Instead of the pins that every other box does, these are chips, launch chips. So it's a poker chip rather than a pin. With obviously the theme for this month for the launch box was obviously retro. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Something a little bit different. We see pins in everything. Nobody thought to do something different. And having like poker chips like that or casino chips, that's nice. I like that. I would actually collect those if I was getting this box every month or whatever. I would want to keep those. So unbelievably, just when you think you've seen it all in these boxes, the final item is a poncho, and it's a Pac-Man poncho. I mean, there was two different designs that you could have got with this. So if you ever need a poncho and you want to look like one of the Pac-Man ghosts, there you go. Just when you think you've seen it all in these boxes and you think you've seen every single item that you could possibly get, there's always something new. So yeah, some ups and downs from launch box. I don't understand the name of the box. I don't get why we've got something from Sesame Street in there. This retro theme that fits in well with some of the items, and some of the items are really good, some of the items aren't, in my opinion. The key ring itself was an exclusive as well. Yeah, interesting box, something a bit different. I really did like the poker chip though. A lot better than a pin. But yeah, now it's time to look at all the scores for all of the items in these boxes. I give each item a score, and that gives the entire box a score, and then we're able to compare all the boxes this month and see which one was the best. So, a good start to the year for these boxes. Loot Crate in particular did very, very well. I think the smaller number of items in here were offset certainly by the fact that the items were very, very good. They got extra points for having high quality items and, you know, being exclusive as well to Loot Crate. The only way you could get these items was through Loot Crate, so they get an extra point for that. And obviously something like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure, that got an extra point for having some variety because you always weren't going to get the same one. And the t-shirt itself was very high quality too, so that gets an extra point. And yeah, a very, very good start to the year from Loot Crate, and yeah, really, really good high quality items. Now for Geek Fuel, it's kind of the same story, you know, really impressive items, a good selection of items, slightly more items than what we saw from Loot Crate, but still some very high quality stuff in there. I really do like the way that they're going with the pins and making them more of a collector's item. And the way that they package things, Geek Fuel in general, is always top notch, and you just get a much nicer feeling when you're opening those boxes than anything else really, I would say. And obviously the t-shirt as well, a very, very good design from the t-shirt there that gets an extra point for that. But yeah, both Loot Crate and Geek Fuel, very, very good starts to the year from both of those boxes. The same can't really be said for Super Geek Box and One-Up Box as well. In general, Super Geek Box and One-Up Box, because they are limited by the size of the box, they tend to not do that well in terms of high scores. They stick to sort of the same amount of items, and unless you're loading it with sort of 8, 9, 10 smaller items, you're not really going to get that high scores when the things that you're filling up the box with aren't that great anyway. You know, trading cards, things like that, they're not really high scoring items, and because the boxes are small, there's only a limit to so much of what you can actually put into the boxes. A total score of 32 for Super Geek Box is probably one of the worst that it's had throughout the course of this testing, and the same is true for the One-Up Box, which did do a little bit better with a score of 34 in total, and I did like the items in there a little bit better, but in general there's just not enough there with both those boxes, at least for this month, in comparison to the two previous boxes. When you compare them like for like, and you realise that they're pretty much the same price as well, there's just not enough there. They are worth your money in, you know, total terms, but in relative terms to what you could be getting, I don't think it's enough. So Wootbox did very, very well last month in its very first month, and it followed that up with a very good month again. A very high quality figure, you know, some properly licensed merchandise, which is what you don't see from the two boxes that we just seen. Although there wasn't an awful lot there this month in terms of actual raw numbers of items, it's again a case of having high quality items. And although, you know, there's only 5 or 6 items like what we saw with Wootbox and Super Geek Box, you're not getting any of that sort of filler stuff or you know, just not really stuff that lives up to the quality. So another decent score there. Same is true for the launch box, which, like I said, is a brand new one. The items here, I don't know, the quality was there, I guess. You know, that there's relatively average scoring items, and there was a certainly decent amount of stuff in there. I really did like the casino chip a lot better, because we're seeing all sorts of the same pins and badges these days. That is one of the best things about the box, that there was something a bit different, and there were a few good items in there. But overall, when you have to consider the fact that the price of this box is a little bit more than what you pay for the other boxes. Again, I don't think the value is there for paying the extra for this box. Ultimately though, Loot Crate does win out for January 2017. A good start to the month for both Loot Crate and Geek Fuel. Launch Box and Wootbox not too far behind, with Wootbox and Super Geek Box just at the end. Still all worth your money, but some small differences between boxes that make a difference in terms of scoring. So that's it for this month of subscription box unboxings. Which one did you like best? Which one would you have preferred to have out of all of these? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want any information about these boxes, the links are all in the first few lines of the description as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.